So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
They say singing can help you remember things, so here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times.
Number 1.
Make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside.
2.
Virtual playdates, social and physical distancing can help save lives.
3.
Tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Many buttons.
There's too many buttons and too many things to do. Howdy, and this is the award-winning In Wheel Time car show.
We won an award?
One.
No, I think we won 2.
Way back, and stop fooling with your microphone. Way back when, back in the day, probably 10 years ago or so.
It wasn't. No, wait, wasn't that long ago. It was Antron
Well,
Brown's
I don't have any hardware to prove it, so I wasn't given
interview 2 years ago.
I wasn't given any of the hardware. So there's one person that continues to hog all of the awards, and I don't ever get one. So that's okay. I know my place. It's not.
No, you don't. You got one, didn't you? Yeah, I got one.
You got one. He got one. The dog got one. Where's the Suze?
Want a Suze cam?
Where's the Suze cam?
She's right
do we
there on
have?
the
Do we
floor.
have? There she is. Oh, there she is. She's knocked out down
Like
there.
the rest of our listeners, sound asleep.
Sound asleep. So if you remember correctly, which I don't, if I didn't have notes, I'd be totally lost. Well, I'm still lost anyway. But at any,
The second thing to go is your memory.
that's what I hear. What?
You can't remember, though, huh?
Can't remember that. Anyway, several weeks ago, we had, was it Nicole?
Nicole?
We had Nicole on, Nicole Wakelin, only because we couldn't get Alice on.
Yeah, there was a technical difficulty.
She logged in late.
No, it wasn't a technical difficulty.
Said,
I was trying to be nice.
No, it's not about us. It's about you.
I wasn't here. That was the problem.
Oh, was
It
that the
David.
problem? Oh, that was David.
I'm throwing David under the bus on that one.
Well, they're both here now. Let's get to them.
All right, so we're gonna talk about a thing called the Rebelle. Correct?
Rebelle?
No,
I think it's Rebelle.
Rebelle.
Rebelle,
Let's
yes.
ask them.
Rebelle Rally Desert Race. Nicole Wakelin and Alice Chase are with us right now. Ladies, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
I see a smile on your face. You're going to go, oh, my God, who are these idiots? They're going to interview us now. But at any rate, it's great to see you guys. So I'm going to let you guys explain exactly what the Rebelle Rally Desert Race was, how you got involved, what car you drove, what was the experience like, and did you win? So go.
All right. Well, I'll start. The
Okay.
Rebelle Rally. The Rebelle Rally is a 7-day, 8-day rally. Felt like forever. No, it was great. Over through the Nevada and California desert. It is completely a navigational rally, so it's not a rally for speed, but we have no GPS, no any other device.
Wait, hold it right there. Wait a minute. No GPS. What do you have to do? Do you have to actually have a map or something to go by?
Well, we have a map, but it's not a road map. It's a topographical map. So we have longitude and latitude coordinates, map and compass.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck on that. Boy, I'd be totally lost on that thing.
So, and it is I believe the longest, both by distance and time, desert rally in the U.S. and it happens to be just only women.
Only women. Okay. So in other words, you wouldn't have a problem stopping at a gas station and asking for directions like we would.
No, in fact, due to the current times, that was not even allowed. So
okay.
We would have been disqualified if we did that.
Don would have cheated.
I would have cheated. I would have cheated and gone to the gas station going, hey, you know how to get there?
So what were you guys driving?
We were driving an Infiniti QX80, which is a great big luxury SUV. And Infiniti made a couple of changes to it. They gave it a lift, gave it some better tires, gave it a little modified suspension and some skid plates for handling all the dirt and rocks and stuff that we were driving over for 7 days.
How many miles did this course take you?
It's 1,200 miles roughly altogether, so it's pretty long.
1,200 miles, and it's not a speed or timed event, so I would imagine that there was probably some hair-raising terrain that you went over?
Yeah, some of the terrain, you're on a mix of terrain. Sometimes you're just on sort of packed desert sand. There's a lot of rocky bits. We spend some time, we finished up in Glamis, not that far outside of San Diego, where there's these giant sand dunes, which is its own little world of driving in soft sand when it's 100 degrees. So it's all types of terrain that we drive through.
Now, you two drove together, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were the team, the Infiniti team.
Correct.
Did one of you drive the whole time and the other navigator, or you switch?
We did. We chose to, different teams do it differently. We chose to hone in. I navigated. Nicole was the driver primarily the whole time.
So did you navigate like the guys do in the rallycross, where it's the hand like this and the hand like this, and because you're going so fast, you got to really stay ahead of it, or were you guys kind of staying at highway speeds or off-road speeds?
Definitely, the speeds were much lower. It was definitely not a race, so we're not doing that kind of thing. Navigation was really just assessing what the terrain was like, and we have different checkpoints throughout the rally that we have to hit. So there are a lot of decisions that we're making every day, and that changes day by day, hour by hour.
All right, so it's mind-boggling. Did you have? Was there a chase car? I call it a chase car. Was there somebody accompanying you, following you to make sure that nothing happened to you guys?
Well, there's not like a specific chase car assigned to each team, but we all have satellite trackers on our cars. So they know where we are, even if somehow we don't know where we are. They're aware of where we are. And you have a satellite phone. So if you really got into trouble, something went terribly wrong, you can still reach out for help. So
an emergency or something.
Exactly. If there's an emergency, you can still get help. And if they, you're supposed to be going one way and you are way, way, way the other way, they can call you on the satellite phone and say, hey, reassess where you are. You're going the wrong way.
That's what Don needs.
Yeah. Make a left at the next crossing, right?
Well, I had a problem going from the house out here.
So where were you? Where was the race at? General area.
We began in near South Lake Tahoe. And we ended in Glamis near San Diego.
Wow, that's a long haul.
So southwest is the way that you traveled.
South.
Yeah.
So what did you do for like overnight?
There's no fancy accommodations. You're not going to a hotel. Every team has a tent or sometimes two tents if each want their own. You're camping, and they have it set up that way. So you camp, you haul your stuff back and forth from your car, and they have they have like a really gigantic food truck that provides really good food throughout the rally. That's what you're doing every night, every morning.
So you got to find the food truck first.
So in other words, you're going through this rally, but you're actually together, but you're not talking to the other teams. Is that how it works?
This year I would say this year is a little bit different. There is a base camp most evenings, with the exception of like one or two nights where there is some camaraderie. This year being what it was, things were much different. We were still practicing social distancing, mask wearing and things like that. So it was a little bit different than it has been in previous years, but I would definitely say the teams help each other when they're on the course. If somebody gets stuck in the sand, it is just good sportsmanship to stop and help to dig them out or to give them advice if they're having mechanical difficulty, things like that.
So riding in a luxury sport utility vehicle like the Q80, tell us the truth. Did you just recline the seats and sleep inside the truck?
I want you to hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break, and you're going to answer that when we come back, so stay with us.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song.
I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
They say singing can help you remember things, so here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times.
Number 1.
Make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside.
2.
Virtual play dates, social and physical distancing can help save lives.
3.
Tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. It's the In Wheel Time Car Show. We're talking to Nicole Wakelin and Alice Chase, Rebelle Rally Desert Race Team in the Infinity moniker, if you will. And so my question, well, no, you asked the question.
So one of our internet listeners and that is watching was asking the question. This sounds like a blast. Obviously it does, and I'm really jealous. And I might have to change the way I dress or something. Anyway, she was wanting to know, is this open to anyone, or is it, could a team from any place join?
Yeah, anybody can join. There's no restriction. I mean, you have to have a basic knowledge of how to drive off-road. I mean, this can't be the first time you've ever taken a car off pavement. And you have to have a basic knowledge of how to do the navigation, plotting latitude and longitude. But it's not like you have to be a professional or have specific professional qualifications. Anybody who wants to give it a go can participate in the Rebelle Rally.
So how did you guys get involved? How did you guys do this?
Nicole and I had each covered the event in previous years as media, so we were a little bit familiar with some of the procedures and the participants and staff, and it was something we both decided the next year, we're like, you know what, we would like to give this a go as a team, and both being there to cover it before, it worked out really well.
Okay. So what are y'all's backgrounds? I guess journalism?
Yeah, I'm an automotive journalist. I've been covering the industry for probably about 10 years. So normally I'm writing about cars and things like the Rebelle Rally, and other times when it's not 2020, traveling all over the place, doing first drives of vehicles all around the country.
God. And who do you write for? Are you just a freelancer?
I freelance for probably about a half a dozen or so different sites, the Boston Globe, Auto by Tel. I do stuff for Carfax, AAA. I'm kind of all over the place.
And you're located up in the New England area, right?
Yes, I'm in New Hampshire, where we had our first snow of the season last night.
I spent many a month in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and York Beach.
Oh, yeah, not far away. Maybe like an hour away from me, Portsmouth.
Yeah. So, Alice, you're in Texas, though.
Yes, correct. So I've also been writing about cars for several years now, more in a lifestyle type perspective. I have my own site, thrillofthechases.com. And then also, like Nicole, involved in several automotive associations and things like that.
So the people that you were on the rally with, do they have similar backgrounds, or are they more diverse?
Most people, there's a few other women who actually are automotive journalists who participated. Most women aren't. A lot of off-road enthusiasts driving their own vehicles. They have all sorts of tricked out cars. Some of them are vintage cars. There was a 69 Bronco. Hopefully I'm not saying the wrong year. And that was their car. So they're all ages, all backgrounds. There were executives, there were nurses, there were chefs, there's everything.
You guys know Sue Mead?
Yes.
Was she there?
She did not participate. She was going to be there, but you know, the way things are these days, It didn't happen. They didn't have as much media in this time.
Well, we totally understand that. Sue's been a long-time friend of ours for many decades. Can I say that?
I don't use the word decade at my age.
Yeah, no. Well, you can just imagine with all of us white-haired guys sitting around here. But don't say anything. Don't say a word.
The Rebelle Rally is a women's-only event. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. So how many teams were there?
There were 36 teams, I think.
My God. I had no clue. I thought maybe a dozen. 36. Wow.
And that was smaller because of COVID. There were teams that normally there's international teams. I think there was one team from Canada, I think only one, that was able to make it, but teams from other areas of the world couldn't come this year. So they had some people who would have been there but couldn't.
So this is a time to distance rally, and then the cumulative time variance is what ranks you at the end. Is that correct?
It's more points. There's not a time variable in there to rank you. You have a certain amount of time each day, like anywhere from 9 to almost 11 hours. But it's all those checkpoints you get. Different colored checkpoints are worth different values, and it's how many of those checkpoints you manage to hit correctly, and the number of points you collect each day that decides who wins the whole thing.
Was everybody on the same route?
No, there were at least, sort of, kind of. We're sort of on the same general route, but you might have, there's some checkpoints that are the same for everyone, the green points, which are the easy ones. But the blue checkpoints, there's different blue checkpoints, which are a little harder, and black checkpoints are even harder still. And you may or may not have the same ones as other teams. So you never really quite know unless you looked at each other's sheets that you get each day.
So harder as in harder to locate or harder to access? Like you needed to have a real off-road vehicle to get up to the top of the hill to get to it?
A little bit of both, depending on the checkpoint. The major difference is green checkpoints have this giant flag, like the kind of thing you'd see sitting outside like a fast food restaurant saying, "We're open, come in and have coffee," or whatever. The blue checkpoints have like a 4-foot, sometimes a flag, and sometimes it looks just like a metal rebar sticking out of the ground that's painted blue. And the black checkpoints don't have anything. So you're just doing your best to navigate to where you think that exact latitude and longitude is, clicking your tracker and sort of crossing your fingers that you got it right. But there's no actual way to know you're in the right spot because there's no marker.
Oh, my God. I'd be so dang lost.
How did it point you? Did you pick something up at that location or what? How did it know you reached that black checkpoint?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How does the system know that you reached that black checkpoint?
Well, we have a satellite, like a tracker, and when you click it, it knows your GPS position, and once you click it, it sends that to the rally, and then you'll then see where you are actually versus where you might think you are, and that's how you know you're in the right spot.
Were you ever any miles off, other than feet off, but miles off?
Oh, definitely.
Well, how many miles off were you?
Depends on the day.
Well, how fun is that? Well, let's see. We're only 30 miles off.
So where did you guys finish? Am I allowed to ask? Does it really matter?
You can ask. We finished, I think we weren't at the top of the pack. I think we were something like 24th or so, or 25th. But I had, for me, the first time Alice and I have ever done this, and I had 3 goals. Don't kill Alice, don't kill me, don't kill the car, and I did that.
So you accomplished all the goals you set up for. And finished as well.
And finished, so I guess 4.
And had a luxury car to ride along in to do it.
Well, it has been a delight to follow you guys. And, hey, follow us, will you?
I guess.
You guess. We just go from the house here to Studio A. So, it's not a whole lot to do. But
and if somebody's looking for information about the rally itself, they go to...
You can just Google Rebelle Rally. They have a website. They have everything you need, the cost, the equipment, the time frames for everything. They're already taking registrations for 2021.
There you go, Candace.
Are you guys going to do it again?
I don't know. I think I might be a one and done. I don't know about Alice.
I could be persuaded to maybe do it again. The right sponsor, the right partner. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been a delight to talk to you guys and to kind of follow along in this, disjointed as it may be in 2020. I can't tell you. We're kind of living life through you guys, so we really appreciate you spending the time with us today and explaining all of the stupid questions that we ask because we just don't know. And
we're real good at asking stupid questions.
We're really good at that. So stay in touch with us. Let's kind of have a date, in another month or two. And see what you guys are up to, shall we?
Absolutely. That sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We really appreciate you. So that's Nicole Wakelin and Alice Chase, the Rebelle Rally race team.
Sounds like a hoot.
So cool.
It is. It is very cool.
Can you drive if you go in drag?
That's what I was saying. I could change the way I dress. Maybe we could get in.
I can. It's the only thing is that the pumps just absolutely kill my feet after a while on that gas and brake pedal.
He always drives you, Greg.
Your voice, believe it or not, if you want it, can be heard too. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Splash and go. And we are back with Conrad's This Week in History, along with some of the stories making auto news headlines. So
if I leave you any time.
Which he hasn't been doing. But, it is what it is, and I'm just going to go with it. So, thanks.
Do you know what teens just love? Not being told what you're supposed to love. That's not anyone's business but yours. It doesn't matter what you love, but if you love it, click it. That includes you too. Because in 2018, 42% of Texas teens who died in traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts. Make sure everyone is buckled up. Every rider, every ride. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. That kind of sounds like rally music, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
As we're bouncing across the desert,
going fast.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Baja.
Here, let me turn it.
We're going, baby. Don has new toys that he's playing with over here.
I did.
He's really enjoying
I've got
himself.
I've got this thing here that's got lots of buttons on it that I get to program. Tons of fun.
We're going to put sound effects in it eventually once Don figures out how to do that.
I know how to do it. It just takes the time to do it. All right. Welcome back. This is the In Wheel Time Car Show. Thanks for joining us on this Halloween show of ours. Notice our Halloween decorations. Thank you, Jeff Zekin. We appreciate you. Let me have the bird again.
Oh gosh, he's going to do this.
I know, but I've got.
We're going to listen to the motor run.
Hold on a minute.
Don's going. Jeff brought us this black.
Okay, I got it now. All right.
Jeff brought this black crow that talks, and Don is just amazed with it.
I am, and I found the speaker. So here you go. This is some of the things that it says.
Beware! Danger as the crow flies!
God.
See, isn't that cool?
George says, why do skeletons have low self-esteem? Because they have nobody to love. Nobody to love. Thanks, George.
Okay, Conrad has This Week in Auto History.
In 1908, Champion incorporated the Champion Ignition Company in Flint, Michigan. And they did that with the backing of Buick Motor Company, as pretty much anything that happened in Flint, Michigan, was generally backed with by Buick. So they ended up manufacturing spark plugs for Buick. In 1920, Harley-Davidson finally registered their first trademark, and they've been building motorcycles for some time, but in 1920, Harley-Davidson finally registered their trademark. There's a board track racer, Harley-Davidson of 1920 fame, and I was kind of surprised. I did a little research on this. They had like 15 different models back in 1920. Wow. And you never really thought, for me, I would think back then there was just one. I love the sidecar too. So they actually trademarked motorcycles, bicycles, sidecars, and parcel cars. I could not find a picture of a parcel car.
A mail truck.
Right.
Mail.
And then in 1954, Chevrolet introduced the small block Chevy without an oil filter.
What year?
1954.
I thought it was 55.
54 is when they introduced it. 55 is when they produced it. So, also in 1954, the last true Hudson was produced by the Hudson Motor Car Company.
God, that's ugly.
I actually thought the back of it looked pretty cool.
Oh, my God, it's ugly.
And And at one point, it was ranked the number 11th in automobile production.
It's amazing.
And then in 1955, Hudson merged with Nash Kelvinator.
That's not Nash Kelvinator.
That's Sammy Swindell. He was born in 1955 and became a dominant dirt track racer across. And he also raced Indy cars, and he spent a little time in NASCAR as well. Super champion. Toyota in 1957. Was founded in California, was founded in the United States. In 1963, Lamborghini introduced the 350 GTV, and Lamborghini had bought a Ferrari, and he had problems with it, brought it back to Enzo, and Enzo gave him the thumbs up, so he went ahead and built his own car to dominate over Ferrari. So they've been
shot
going back
them the
and forth.
finger.
He gave him the.
Yeah.
In 1975 this week, Evel Knievel did his longest jump. Evel jumped 133 feet over the top of 14 Greyhound buses in Kings Island near Cincinnati, Ohio. And Evel set a number of world records, including the most bones broke in your body. In 2006, the final Ford Taurus was built and given to Truett Cathy, the owner of Chick-fil-A. And if you don't remember what the last Ford Taurus looked like, you'll see a picture of it here in just a second. And the final Ford Taurus. You got to remember, Ford Taurus really introduced the world to aerodynamic cars back in the early 90s. And that's this week in automotive history.
Thank you very much, sir. A couple of stories making automotive news headlines this week. Volkswagen recalling 218,192 vehicles in the U.S. because the fuel rail bolts may loosen, allowing fuel to leak.
Sounds like a thermal event to me.
Exactly. The recalled vehicles are 2016 to 2018 Volkswagen Jetta sedans. Safercar.gov. Go there. Ask you for your VIN number. Type in your VIN number, and it will tell you if your car has a recall.
Open or closed. If the recall's been done, it'll let you know that. If it still needs to be done, it'll tell you that as well.
General Motors Super Cruise, once again, edged Tesla's Autopilot in an evaluation of 17 vehicles equipped with active driving assistance systems by Consumer Reports.
You experienced a Super Cruise in that Cadillac.
I did. And it was quite amazing. It was my first experience with a car that pretty much drove itself, kind of. And it was an experience. Let me put it that way. It's eerie to sit behind the wheel and watch the wheel.
Let go.
Let go and watch the wheel turn and then disengage itself if it doesn't know where it is, which is kind of a frightening thing.
And hopefully you were close enough to the wheel.
Well, I was. Yes, I was paying attention.
Not taking a nap.
Yep. My nose itches. What does it mean when your nose itches? When you scratch your hand, you're going to make
Too
money.
much Coke.
Too much Coke. It'd be cocaine. That's not the problem. Thank you very much. Not enough cocaine, apparently.
Well, actually, it wouldn't itch. It'd be numb.
It would be numb. That's what I understand. Ask the people that drank the first Cokes. They would be able to tell you. So the Model Y, fitted with Autopilot, finished a distant second to Cadillac, and the CT6 equipped with Super Cruise, which is like the one that I had. GM's rolling out more than 20 vehicles, including its new Hummer electric pickup, over the next 3 years that are going to have this feature on it. In the latest test conducted this summer on a track and on public roads, Cadillac scored 69 points out of a possible 100, while the Tesla scored 57. The Lincoln Corsair, equipped with Ford Motor Company's Copilot 360 system, finished third with 52.
Chrysler renewed the trademark on the name CUDA this week.
Oh, so that means that they're going to...
I would think so. Are they going to create another CUDA? I would think if they're going to spend
Which is
the money
short
on
for Barracuda.
Right, yeah, but in 70, they dropped Barracuda and it became CUDA all by...
With the in front of CUDA.
How'd that go?
A little up there. Yeah. Don't read that. Do this.
Pass it on. You were supposed to pass
it on. Oh, I was supposed to pass it on. I wasn't supposed to read it.
You're reading my mail?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So Nissan, the Z Proto, the 400Z, is in the United States and getting a little bit of test driving. And it's going to have a 400 horsepower twin-turbo 3-liter. And it's on a press tour in Japan right now, and it's shortly to be in the United States.
Okay. And finally, General Motors defense subsidiary, which delivered its first infantry squad vehicle on Tuesday to the U.S. Army, could soon use GM's electrification development for military applications. The vehicle, based on the Chevy Colorado Z2, can transport 9 soldiers and their equipment. Despite coronavirus-related challenges, GM developed the vehicle in just 4 months after it was awarded a $214.3 million defense contract in June. And that is it for this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Show. We've got another hour coming up, so we invite you to stay with us. We'll be back after this quick break.